Globalization is a very complex concept that was being used even centuries ago, and it was being used depending on the field. In this vlog, I will be pertaining to the general definition of globalization, the concept that comes to our mind when we hear globalization. In a general term, it means the extensive network of economic, cultural, social, and political interconnections and processes which goes beyond national boundaries. Come to think of it, it's like being able to know what is happening around the world even though we're just surfing the internet or watching television. We are aware of the different social issues in other countries, we know the latest trends like Korean culture, latest news like the US elections, and many more. My program is Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. I'm an educator. Education in globalization creates opportunities for global sharing of knowledge, skills, values, technology, societal development, and etc. We use social media and other applications in the internet to follow the latest trends, social issues, and popular culture coming from other countries that can be used to hook the interest of the learners and can be used in lesson proper. Also, we can use it to further develop teaching and learning as it widens our perspective and our knowledge about the topics since information is much accessible. It will help us to cope up and adapt from global change and pressures. Lastly, the educators community becomes solid despite international borders because of globalization. International teachers and local teachers are able to work hand in hand, for example in forums, research work, webinars, interviews, blogs, and etc. As educators, we must be the starting point. We must use globalization to influence people to use it for good and not for toxicity. We must promote and teach our students cultural sensitivity, international understanding, and global values. Also, we must share knowledge and awareness as much as possible for people not to be ignorant to their surroundings and to the global world. Lastly, we can task our students to help in the promotion of common good through assessments like, for example, create a poster promoting respect for all races and post it in social media. What I'm doing right now is actually a participation. I'm sharing to you guys my knowledge about how educators are agents of globalization. Another one would be how I share relevant information in Facebook or other social medias, like for example, national and international news or issues, awareness about mental health, information about children with intellectual disabilities, and other topics that I think people should know. Lastly, I join forums like in Facebook and sometimes I share my knowledge properly. This will influence others to also share their knowledge through the internet. As part of the program, as early as now, I want to practice widening the perspective of people, even at small efforts, to at least reduce toxicity. Globalization has its drawback. One of it is the loss of cultural identity. The advancement of technology made it easier for mass media to transmit cultures and ideas, just like what we commonly see in social media, how some show more interest towards other cultures and give less relevance to their own culture. Last semester, when we interviewed teachers, one of their problems was the students' loss of interest in their own culture. Ultimately, we should teach our students to love their own culture and identity. We must promote civic competence and keep in mind that we should love our own so we can further appreciate others. Therefore, our own cultural identity is safe despite globalization. When integrating other cultures, we should be aware of how it can influence the students. We should pick appropriately what and how much we should integrate. We can also spread awareness in the internet and promote our own culture through sharing our own culture like the OPM and the Filipino arts.